Hi, thank you so much for checking out the video. I'm sure it will help you. I want to give you 5 clues that I had. Of course, there were more than 5, but I'm going to give you 5 today. And we will start with, let me ask you a question. When you were in grade school, were there any subjects that you liked, anything that you did that just came like supernatural to you, and you just kind of, it just flowed? For me, give you an example. For me, it was spelling. And I love to take that one spelling word that you get and you have to put it into a sentence. I would take that one spelling word and I have like all these crazy ideas for it. And what would happen is if the word was blue, I would take the word blue and say, instead of saying, oh, the sky is blue, I would say, I have a pretty blue dress with some cute blue shoes, and I'm going to wear my blue outfit to church on Sunday. So I took that one word and just created a picture for you. And that was something that just really just flowed naturally. And if you think about some of the things that you did as a kid, they just flowed like just super natural for you, and you actually enjoyed it. And you just maybe have gotten away from it, or you've forgotten. So that's why I'm here. So we're gonna go all the way back to grade school and kind of think about what you know, what that subject was for you. And the second clue, I made some notes, so forgive me for looking away. This is my first video. I didn't want to do a bunch of a bunch of takes. That kind of takes away from just sharing with you. I just wanted to do it. Now, the second clue, and I wrote it down. The second clue is it comes in the form of, let me ask you this: if you're really stressed out, what is it that you do to relieve stress? Do you write poetry? Do you cook? Do you clean? Think about what do you do to release stress in your life? Um, for instance, if you work out, we'll go a little deeper. If you work out or do any type of outdoor activity, okay. Ooh, if you do anything like that, what do you do if there's bad weather and you can't get outside and release that stress? What do you do then? So we're going to go a little deeper because there are clues throughout, throughout the process, because it's actually your process. It's all these things that you're doing, and they're like little clues along the way. So what do you do to release stress? Okay. If you do anything outside, we're going to go further. If you do anything outside, what do you do if the weather is just bad? You just can't go out. So think about that. And I will give you an example. For me, I didn't even realize this until I decided to do this video. When I was a teenager, I kept a diary. When I was married, I kept a journal next to the bed. Now, two very different time periods in my life. However, both times were extremely um, stressful. And the fact that I was writing my emotions down, that was a way for me to release my stress. So think about, what do you do to release your stress? Then we're going to go to the third clue. Now, the third clue, there's 2 parts to it, okay? And I'm going to give you an example of both parts. So I want to start off by saying not everyone will relate to the first part of this clue, okay? Again, these were clues for me in my life, okay? But I do want us to agree that we all have a purpose, right? We all have a purpose, right? Okay. Keeping that in mind, one of my clues was, um, and for some people too, a near-death experience. Sometimes a near-death experience can just make you stop and change like right there on the spot. Now, if you are someone who had a life-changing experience, something happened, and it just put you right there on that path, then please share that with us so that you can actually help someone else. For me, I had a near death experience. I've actually had more than one, which is not a good thing, but I've had more than one. And one I will share with you just so you know that, so that we're on the same page as far as near death experience. What I mean by that, um, the furnace in our home blew up, like blew up in the middle of the night. The house was on fire, and the firemen that got me out got an accommodation from the city for getting me out. I was the last person to get out. So that is my example. So it lets me know, okay, yeah, I got some stuff still to do. The second part of this clue, of this third clue, is what changed, what happened in your life that, was a life changer, that was a game changer. But, but, again, we're going to go a little bit further. Even though something, you had a life changing event in your life, and you may have made a change for just a little while, and then you went back to your comfort zone. There is a clue in that too, because something was going on to get you out of that comfort zone, right? I hope you're following me on this. I hope I'm clear. So, um, there's a clue in that. I'll give you an example. Um, I wrote down one. So one, I'll use my daughter as an example. I don't know if she'll appreciate this, but she has an amazing gift in within this particular area, and people that she's never met come to her for this gift. And she was working at a place where she was able to, showcase her talent. But me being a mom, I felt like she was good enough to go out on her own. So for the past year, she's been really, things have just keep happening to push her out the door. I mean, everything like daycare isn't working, work isn't working, the car isn't working. Everything keeps happening to push her, but but her but her gift has remained strong. Okay, so now what happened was she did make a change 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, she made a change a couple of weeks ago, and when she made that change, she told me just a couple of days ago that that company filed for bankruptcy. She had no knowledge. No one had any knowledge. So she just made it out. But now the rest of my example is she is still showcasing her gift. It just pushed her out the way, but she's still in her comfort zone. So eventually she's gonna have to step into it because all the clues have been there for her. Okay, so I'm really hoping that you're with me on that. I'm trying to think if there is another one, but I'll go on to the fourth clue. The fourth clue is, okay. We'll start with the workplace because I'm giving you two examples. Now, in the workplace, let's say you have people that come up to you and say, "Hey, how are you doing?" Or, "Hey, how did this go?" Or, "I know you moved," or, "You did this, you did that. How did that go?" And do you sometimes think that those people that are asking you those questions that they are being nosy, or they want to just gossip and spread your business all around? You know, think about that, and think about that person, and then think about um, why they came to you. Because I also want you to think about you. When you are going through a difficult time, or you're seeking answers for something, you don't always tell people exactly what's going on in your life. So here you are over here. You have um, you have something going on in your head, and you're trying to figure it out, but you're looking for answers. So you're going to ask questions. Hey, how did you do this, or how did you do that? And so it goes both ways. So people are looking at you because they feel you have an answer for them. So you need to share your stories with them. So that's the fourth clue, is storytelling. What you've gone through, share it with someone so that you can help them make it through. So you can show them, hey, you'll be fine. An example to that is, because somebody always watching, and I know it's a cliche, and I thought about this when I wrote these clues down, but it's so true. Last year, I was going through a very difficult time. I had never experienced anything like that before. Have you ever gone through so bad that you felt like your face just slammed on the pavement? You just slammed face down, on the pavement. Well, and then you're on the pavement and people are still coming at you asking you stuff, and you're like, and you're like, so anyway, here I am, face down on the pavement, right? Because I'm just, I'm mentally exhausted, physically exhausted. I had nothing else to give. I was just really going through. And someone said, "Hey, how did you how did you do this, and how did you do that?" And it was super simple, what they were asking me. It was, and I just said, "Oh, this is what I did," and I wrote it down. And I said, "And this is the company I went through," and I wrote it down. And so I did that. Didn't think anything else about it until a few weeks ago when I get this text message. And this text message said, "Thank you for helping me through," I can't remember how it was worded, but the person said that they were afraid. Okay? They were afraid to move forward, but they were so thankful that I had the information to share with them to help them move forward. Okay? Now, just a little bit more to that. What they were asking me about was something I went through several years ago. Several years ago. So, and I just thought I would put that out there and let you know. People are watching. They remember. They remember, and they know who to call, and they're led to who they're supposed to call. So you need to share that information. The last clue that I'm going to share with you is there anything that you do on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis, anything that you can think of, and you just do it? It's just so natural. You just do it, right? One of the examples, I write out to-do lists. I've been doing it for years, like years. Think nothing of it. Just to-do list, to do. They're all over the place. Then one day, I don't know when, but one day I started writing on I would write my notes and my to-do list in notebooks. So I would take a special trip and go to the dollar store or Walgreens, and I get all these notebooks. And I would put all my information in there. So then, over the last 2 years, what I did was I started to label my notebooks. And if I had a dream, I put it in my book. When it manifests, I put it in my book. I answer prayers in my book. Extraordinary people I've met and encounters that I've had, I put them in my book. So think about what you have done on a daily, weekly, monthly basis that that again you might be thinking, oh, it couldn't be that. Whatever it is, it probably is that, because sometimes we think that things are just too small. So if something clicked in your head just now and you thought, well, it couldn't be that, that's too small. Well, no clue is really too small because it actually leads up and attaches to other clues and it makes one big gift. Okay. Now, to end this with the fifth clue, now, as a result of these things that I've done so naturally over the years, I actually have books. So I have, in each one of these notebooks represent a book. Even, and again, this was something I didn't think about until I did the video. And the journal that I kept by the bed when I was going through, that's actually a book. So, think about these different clues that I've given you. And even if you cannot, relate 100%, because, we're all different, of course, we're all different. However, it will cause you to, cause you to reflect back and think, oh, yeah, I remember that. All you need is one. So I've given you five. All you need is just one, right? To reflect. And then once you get that one, then you're gonna be like, okay, oh, and then you're gonna put it together and you're gonna be amazing. And so thank you for watching my video. And I certainly hope that you are well on your way super, super fast.